A weekend in Vegas with her girlfriends. Are you crazy? Why does she need to do that? Seriously, that I even have to make a video about this is nuts. Which one of her discontent, relationship destroying, promiscuous friends suggested this? She can't meet up with all her friends in town for lunch? And if she has friends from out of town, she can't invite them in for the weekend? Why isn't that an option? Seriously, what would be the purpose of a half dozen adult women going away for the weekend, away from their boyfriends and husbands, to the city of sin? What's the purpose of that? I'll tell you what the purpose is: to experience a bunch of pain and regret, and to come home with a couple sexually transmitted diseases they can spread around. That's the reality. College is over, baby. It's time to grow up. Have you ever gone out to a bar with your friends and there's a bachelorette party, there's a bridal shower party, and they're whooping it up and they're drinking way too much and they're doing shots because they think that's cool? It's not cool. And then, they're walking back to their car, all drunk and unaware of what's happening around them, or they're going to their hotel room and opening the door and fumbling with the card and trying, and people twice their weight and height are walking by behind them. They're not paying attention. They're completely vulnerable. Yeah, we've all seen that. Now, I know not every bachelorette party is like that, and every bridal shower is like that. I know they're very mature women who can handle drinking and not act that way. But there's also a good percentage that aren't, and there'll be a mix in that crowd. Some girls will have their stuff together and some won't. So not necessarily the best situation. And as a man, you want to be able to protect what's precious to you. And if you have a girlfriend or wife you care about, you don't want them in that vulnerable type of a situation without you. I mean, that's just natural. And how anyone can have a problem with that is beyond me. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot for a second. All women know kung fu and can beat up a bunch of guys twice their size. I forgot that for a second. No, they can't. They can't. Okay, yeah, there might be one, a couple female bodybuilders and weightlifters that can do that. But generally speaking, no, they can't. And if they've had a bunch of drinks, that's a difficult situation. There are just so many things wrong with that. And we can all pretend like nothing bad will happen, but that's not the truth. And if you've got to watch a video like this to know that this is all wrong, then you're passing the beta zone and heading right to Simpland. Girls' weekend in Vegas. No, it's just wrong. There's just so much wrong with that. But don't ever tell a woman what to do with her life. This is her life. This is her choice. Whether she makes good or bad decisions, that's out of your realm. But it is your choice who you're with, who you spend time with, who you choose to love and give your heart to. That's your choice. And you can tell yourself what to do. If you've made the terrible choice to commit to a woman who thinks this is a great idea, to go party it up in Vegas with her girlfriends without all the husbands and boyfriends around, that's your choice. That's something you control. Why isn't she planning a weekend with you? She doesn't want to spend a fun weekend with you? She wants to exclude you? You got to ask yourself, why? Why would she want to do that? There's about 1 billion fun things you can do and weekend trips you can plan, explore locally. I mean, there's just so much to do. If she's that bored with you and doesn't enjoy spending time with you on the weekends or having something fun like this and a memory you can create together, you got to really look at yourself and you got to look at your relationship and say, what am I doing? And if this is just your girlfriend and you just, you've been going out for 8 months to 3 years, she doesn't want to plan a great vacation with you? I mean, that just says it all right there. Why wouldn't she want to do that? Oh, I miss my friends. And all right, invite them in. Tell them to bring their boyfriends. Let's go out. Let's have some fun. There's always some fun stuff to do. And if you just have to go to Vegas, why doesn't everybody go to Vegas? What do you need to do as a single woman in Vegas when you're not single? Your wife or girlfriend, she needs to have a slumber party with all her friends like it's grade school. She needs to go and have this slumber party in the city of sin where people are just waiting to take advantage of people like her, where this happens every weekend and people know the ins and outs. I mean, I'm sorry for wanting to inject a little reality into the situation. If your girlfriend or wife wants to do this, then you've made some bad decisions, my friend. She should want to do stuff with you. You should want to do stuff with her. That relationship really isn't working. And this isn't just a sign and a red flag. This is more than that. So when she comes to you and tells you, I'm going to Vegas in 3 weeks with all my friends. We're meeting in Las Vegas and we're going to get a hotel room and we're going to go to shows. And yeah, I'm just thought I'd let you know. And you say quite calmly, oh yeah? You're going to Vegas for the weekend with your girlfriends? Okay, I'll help you pack. So without any emotion, without discussion, just say, oh, you're going to Vegas for the weekend with your friends? Okay, I'll help you pack. So right away she's going to be confused like that. Well, it's not for a couple of weeks and I don't really need your help packing. She doesn't know what you mean by saying that. What you mean is, if you're living together, you're helping pack up her stuff. And if she starts asking questions, what you mean, what you're doing, say, hold on, no problem. I'm just going to go out and get a couple things. I'll be right back. You go right to U-Haul, get a couple dozen box packs, get some packing tape, and get a Sharpie. Put them in the trunk of the car and come back to your apartment where you're living with your girlfriend or wife. Bring those boxes into the house. Start opening them up, taping them up, and start helping pack her stuff for her. Better yet, if you have a basement, you're living in a house together, be prepared. If you're feeling sure at all about your girlfriend or wife, have that stuff in the basement already. Be prepared. You're a man. We like to prepare. We like to be ready for all the different situations. If you're getting feelings like things like this can happen, be prepared. Have those boxes in the basement. Have some tape. You can return boxes to U-Haul. No problem. That's part of their service. If you have an unused box, you can return it and get your money back. So start laying out the boxes. Get a Sharpie so you can write on the outside of the box what's in the box. She'll say, wait, what are you doing? What's going on? Is this because I'm going to Vegas for the weekend with my girlfriends without you? She'll say something. She'll launch some sort of protest. I'm just going with my friends for the weekend to Vegas. You very calmly, without emotion, it's very important, without emotion, because she's expecting an emotional reaction from you. You say, I understand. Everything she says, any protest, you say, no, I understand. I'm just more interested in someone who wants to take a trip with me. But we're two different people. And I can see that this is important to you. So I understand completely. Do you have a forwarding address, or should I put these things in temporary storage until you return? No discussion, no argument, no emotion. She's going to want to discuss it with you. That is a trap. Do not walk into the trap of the discussion. You will not win. It won't matter all the logic you put forth or how sound your argument is. I'm worried about you. I'm concerned you're out alone. You're with women, you're drinking, and something could happen to you. No. It's all logical. It makes tons of sense. She's not going to like that. She's going to have a very emotional reaction to what you're doing and to your reaction. So be prepared for that by maintaining a stoic frame and not becoming emotional. No matter what she does, whenever she complains or protests, I understand. Said without emotion, said without angst, said without anger, I understand. If she has a bad reaction, it's further proof that it's over. You guys aren't really connecting. If you're with someone who would grab your hands or be physical with you, come on, tribe. That's nothing you want in your life. And if that happens, you need to calmly remove yourself until she calms down, and you can continue your packing and doing those things while she's at work the next day. Hire a moving crew to come pick up the boxes and take them away. If she hasn't given you a dress, rent the store space for a month, and then after everything's packed and removed, you can give her that address and let her know she could pick up her stuff there. And that you paid for the first month. After that, they give it to Goodwill or whatever the service uses. Make sure also to call a locksmith and have all the locks changed. You don't want someone rummaging around in your house all angry and resentful. So make sure you do this all in a very short period of time, hopefully the same day. Do this all without emotion. Do not show an outward emotion, because that's a trap. And that's where she will see the weakness and do things to bring on more emotion. Remove everything from your house. Remove all traces. And then promise yourself never to ignore red flags like this again. Because if she wants to go away on a girls' trip to Vegas, to the city of sin, there have been red flags leading up to this. She was so sweet and, doing things for you and being supportive of you, and all of a sudden wants to go to Vegas for the weekend. So there were red flags. So promise yourself not to ignore red flags ever again. Make a solid effort to have standards and devote yourself to your friends, your family, to your work, to improving yourself somehow. These are much more secure investments than someone who isn't planning a fun weekend with you, but is planning a fun weekend with her friends so she go drinking and see some sort of male review show and come back and give you a socially transmitted disease. You have to have boundaries. You have to have an expectation that the woman you're with is going to make you a priority and not her promiscuous, dissatisfied friends. Because let's face it, I've never ever dated a girl who's all her friends were on the up and up. They always had one or two friends that were just not the best people and were dissatisfied and negative and tended to try to influence your girlfriend or wife. We all have to contend with that not so great friend that they listen to and talk to on the phone and feel sorry for. Well, that expression, you are who your friends are, to a certain degree, it is true. Our friends influence us. So you make good choices with your friends, like you make a good choice about your girlfriends or your wives or people you invite to live together with. I would suspect that if you're in this situation, you've been too agreeable, too many yes dears and whatever you want, and if that makes you happy, and going out of your way. Those are all fine things, but if you overdo that, there will be testing. And more testing and then bigger testing. And then she wants to go to Vegas with her friends. So stuff happened before this. It built up. And you were a part of that. And by the way, I think this goes the same for men. If you need to go Vegas with all your bros for 4 days and you're in a committed relationship, you're living with a woman, invite her. Why not bring her with? You're married. Why not bring her with? I can see if you're going on a hunting trip in Colorado and you're going to be out in the woods following game and she doesn't want to come and hang out by the lodge by herself. See that? Or you're going on a salmon fishing trip to Alaska and you're going to be ice fishing and freezing your butt off. Yeah, invite them. Why not? But I could see she doesn't want to do that. That's a lot different than going, woo, to Vegas with your girlfriends. And we're going to do shots and we're going to let our hair down and we're going to go nuts. Why do you need to do that? If you're a 30 or 40-year-old woman, why would you need to do that? I'm all for having experiences and having a great time, but there's a point where you grow up and that's not so appealing anymore. So if the women who are listening to this, why is that appealing if you're 42? Do you have a good marriage? You call that a good marriage, a good relationship? Why is that appealing? So be as unemotional as possible when you're going through this. If you fail to set this boundary, if you get emotional, if you argue and discuss, she will see you as weak. You will have failed the test. She wants to know that you do have boundaries and that you can commit to them. And when you don't want to participate in something, you will not participate in it. She needs to know that you can do that. That's why she's testing you. If she sees you as weak, if you give in, she will go off and potentially sleep with some male review dancer and say, it just happened, right? It just happened. I don't know. It just happened. Nothing just happens. You do it. There will be a lack of responsibility taken. And men and women are both guilty of this. But when you're choosing a mate, this isn't what you want in your life. It's time to wake up and to grow back your balls. This is what she wants you to do. She really wants you to do this. She doesn't really want to go to Vegas. She wants to be in a good relationship. She wants to be happy, just like you want to be happy. But she needs you to step up to show your masculinity so she can feel comfortable expressing her femininity. She needs to know that you're man enough to draw the line and to stick to that. I know you're thinking, no, she really just wants to go to Vegas with her friends and party out. No, she wants a partner who can stand strong and not put up with a bunch of garbage. And again, this isn't telling her what to do. This isn't saying, no, I forbid this. No, don't forbid. It's her life. Don't forbid anyone from doing anything. It's you who needs to make the choice. It's your choices. It's not controlling other people and I forbid you. And if you do this, I'll do that. No. If this is what's happening, admit to yourself, I made a bad decision and I'm going to do this. I'll help her pack. I'm a good guy. I'm going to help her pack. And she launches protests. I understand. I understand. We're different people. And this is what you want. You know, it's really nuts. This stuff that men have been taught to put up with. I know there's men out there listening. They're like, what's wrong? She just wants to go to Vegas. She just, and you believe all this BS. And that's what it is. She just wants to go to Vegas, John. You're what's wrong with you? You're controlling. No, I'm not controlling anything. She can absolutely go to Vegas. I understand completely. But I make choices about my life and what I want to do. I'm not going to tell a woman she can't. I'm not going to limit her experience that way. If she doesn't want to experience life with me or a fun weekend with me, that's her choice. It's really not my concern. My concern is me. My responsibility is me. You can protect her only as much as she allows it. It's her life. She's a separate person. But really, we've been taught, I know the message is that this is okay, this is great, this is fine. And it's such a bunch of bunk. And this is the reason why so many women are unhappy and jumping from guy to guy. Because the men they're with are taught like this and they never stand up for anything. They never have any boundaries. Okay, yeah, whatever you want, dear. Just go to Vegas and, have terrible things happen to you. Women don't want that. That's why all these relationships end so quickly. And it's always over, And she's on to the next. She wants a man who will have a couple boundaries and stick to them. And I've said this before in other videos. This doesn't mean being a jerk. You're not controlling someone. You're just having standards for yourself. And a woman will admire and respect these standards. She'll come on board. She may protest a little at first. She may be upset. Hey, I didn't like that. You stick to yourself. You be unemotional. And you say, I understand. I understand. If that's what you want to do, we're just different people. Let me help you pack. They want you to stop doing what they say. I know you're thinking, what are you talking about? But they really want you to stop doing what they say all the time. They want to know that you have this masculinity. They want to be able to feel that so they feel safe when they're with you. If you're constantly doing what they say, if you never have a boundary, it makes them terribly unhappy. You probably have experienced this unhappiness in past relationships. If you look back, you'll notice what I'm saying. I did everything right. I did what she wanted. You're being too logical and you're dealing with someone who's very emotional. So in the same way women tell each other placating lies, they want you to read through what they're saying. And we like to take everything on face value. Oh, you want to go here and do that? Okay, we'll go here and do that. But it's different with women. Is anything wrong? Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. You have to ask 3 times. That first time's just the first hurdle. They want to see if you're strong enough to go for the second. And then the third. And then they're going to tell you. And then you don't try to fix it. You just listen. And then they're like, yes, I feel safe with this guy. This guy's a rock. That's what she's looking for. There isn't a girl I've ever run into or known who isn't looking for that. It's really simple. Okay, tribe, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. If you want coaching, you can reach me through my YouTube page and my email address is there. Just reach out and I will see you in the next video.